back again, and as you can see, I have the radiator in. So I just took a hose to the old one. Well, I took a hose to this one and got out all of the dust and rust that was in there, and I just want to be able to flush it all out. So I wanted to show you what came out of it. Sorry I didn't get it caught on video, but that's just a little bit of it. So thankfully I was able to capture the rest of it. I'll come back and sweep that up. But here's what we're looking at. And I'll get this filled up. We can run it now safely for a little bit longer. You know, see what the temps look like, see if the thermostat opens up, and kind of just take it to the next level. Now, if I have to go in there and break that thermostat up and replace that, then it's going to be time to start taking a look at maybe turbos, at maybe valve cover gaskets, maybe injectors, just to try to get this thing spruced up a little bit more. While I'm at it, I might as well. So stay tuned. Show you a little something. So take a look right there. So these are the lines that go to the throttle body to warm up the throttle body housing. Something that a lot of turbo Buick owners are doing, they're capping it off. So they're actually not going to flow that coolant over. And because of the the state of this, I'm going to do the same. So what I'll do is right here, where these two coolant lines come out, I am going to turn it on each other. So find a way to hook that one into that, and that'll stop the need for coolant to flow that way. So there it goes. So that test was successful. We were able to get the car up to temperature. Everything looked good, sounded good. And I don't know if you guys can take a look at what's in there, but it looks pretty rusty. So I'm going to drain it. And I have a radiator flush in the garage that I want to use on it next time, so I'll definitely get that. You may see some steam going over there. It's just burn off. We have a valve cover gasket leak on that side, not to mention whatever's left of rat nests that we still have to clear out, so it's just smoking those off, but nothing to be alarmed about. And once we get that turbo tweak chip, we will be good to go. I could tell that the thermostat opened up, so that's all good. It's going to get replaced anyway, but it's nice to know it got to temperature. I took a couple of measurements of the coolant temperature sensor, so I will look those up, see what they mean exactly, and I'll get back to you. All right, hey everybody. So I am back with the Grand National, and I have a lot of parts coming in soon. So I'm really excited about the next phase of this. And with the turbo tweak chip, 42-pound injectors, coolant temp sensors, new brake system, complete brake system, there is going to be a lot to do. So, and turbo, I'm gonna get a replacement turbo. Not new, but just from a good known running hot air. And I'm just gonna work on that setup for now. No real desire to go 10s, 9s, just look for something that will pack a punch. So I am going to prep for a lot of that. So I'll be taking off basically the top layer of this engine over the next few days and just getting it ready for the next steps. So excited to have you with me. Let's tear back into this Grand National. Okay, so one of the reasons why I was concerned about the turbo from the get-go was when I first took apart the intake, well, the throttle body, I saw this crown nut. And this is for what goes on to that turbo impeller and the compressor wheel here. And I can show you what I'm dealing with. So I know it, once I tighten it down, it'll get a little bit better, but that's way too much. Way too much up and down. So I even knew that turbo wasn't spooling up the way it should, and I would just feel a lot more comfortable replacing it with a good known unit. So I torqued this down pretty tightly to factory specs the last time I came across it, and the fact that it's back loose again, I don't know. I don't like it. So I will definitely be exploring another turbo. I should be picking one up this weekend, and that will allow me to get a lot further with this. I have it down to a science now, so I'm pretty confident I can get all of this removed and back together really easily. So I'm just going to continue to move along here. Making some serious progress here, as you can see. Finally got that entire shroud off. I'm able to get to another nest. I'll get the vacuum in there, clean all that up, but it's just crazy how much these critters love this car. One step closer to getting these injectors out. But it's important for me to get everything out of here as much as possible, because we don't want anything flying into the engine. All right, I'm gonna stop right there for a moment while I wait to get gaskets. I'm going to do intake and valve cover gaskets while I'm at it. Still picking up the turbo later on today. Finally got that off. Hopefully I can find this O-ring. I'm hoping that's included in the kit as well, but we'll see. Coolant lines, all that's off. Heater valve, I believe, right over there. Metal shroud and injector rail. So exciting stuff, guys. Finally got this off the engine. Here's what I'm working with right now. And let me make sure I can make sure these things are in stock. I highly doubt it, but those weren't available when I tried to order the rest of the parts of this car, so still looking. Be back soon. All right, so valve covers are off. I'm just taking a look at these just taking a quick look at these rockers and push rods. Here's the other side. Not a lot of oil buildup or anything like that. They look fairly clean. Let me show you what the rocker, what the inside of the covers look like. They're pretty clean. You know, consistent with something that hasn't been ran much in a while. And even looks to, you know, no buildup, so actually seems like it was taken care of when parked. So I have brand new valve cover gaskets getting ready to go on. I'll probably do the rest of this once I get the turbo in the morning. All right, about to put a couple coats of paint down on here, freshen up the engine bay. For this, I am using Duplicolor's engine enamel. So, there you go. I got everything washed, scuffed up, taped off the important parts. I think I do want to cover up this fuel pressure regulator port. So 2 seconds here. All right, ready to roll. All right, this 07 Odyssey that is giving him a little bit of trouble. So he was leaving church yesterday and it would just not fire up for him. Sounded like the battery is dead. But once they got into it, after they left it alone for a little bit, it would run. So I think the battery is able to replenish itself and alternator's not charging. Let's see if it'll start up. It's been sitting overnight, so it may run. Let's see here. Oh, good sign. Okay, I got battery light on. Everything else looks good. So I'm going to give it a once over. Make sure steering, suspension, all that's tight as well while I have it. All right, so got the engine running. Going to do a quick test just to confirm. And wow, look at that. I am dealing with 9 volts right now. Somewhere between 7 and 9 volts. So take a quick look around, make sure nothing looks out of place. The belt is still on. And make sure it's the alternator, but 99% sure it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, check for any play. So I grab the wheel, little bit, just a little bit of play. Not seeing much up and down, just a tiny bit side to side. So what that's telling me is likely a tie rod end. If I had the same play up and down as well, then I'd start to take a look at wheel bearings. Let's see what the other side looks like. Okay. So we test on this side. Very little play as well, even less than the other side. So with all of that, I feel like I can run out and grab the turbo. The guy's able to meet between 7:30 and 8, so I'm just gonna run right quick down to Maryland, scoop it up from him, and pop back. Then I can finish this up, have it ready for my stepdad. Got his lawnmower fixed as well. Need to replace the carb on that one. Starts right up on the first pull. So we can give everything back to him. I can make some progress on buttoning back up the Grand National. And hopefully today we'll have 2 running cars. Stay tuned. But, yeah, let's push it up. All right, be right back. All right, so I am back. I was able to get all the nice parts for the Grand National. Met a really cool Facebook guy. It's so nice to hear that people in the world still exist like him. So he gave me the turbo, the throttle body, even like one of the downpipes. So I am elated. And he has a whole engine for the car, and if this doesn't work out, then at least I have another avenue to get a local engine. But it's time to get going on this minivan. So let me pull it up. Let's get this alternator on. So take a look what my bypass lines look like. And this one is solid shut. So I'm gonna see if I can open it back up. Hopefully I can, and not cause too much damage. Alright, that looks a little bit better. I am going to blow the lines out, clean them out, clean the outside of them too. Put a light spray on it and have it look like the rest of the engine. I also want to test this to make sure it's good, but what I'm seeing so far looks like it needs to be replaced. This is the heater bypass, if I'm not mistaken. And when vacuum pressure is applied, it will, either open or close that. And the fact that that's open right now makes me think it shouldn't be. So, I don't know. I have to do a little bit more investigation on it. We'll see. On second thought, I don't like the way this looks. Point blank period. And while I'm at it, I might as well try to replace all the things that are a little bit tougher to get to. So before I put the turbo on, I am going to run out and grab another one of these. Hopefully it's in stock. I've been pretty hit or miss with in-stock parts right now, so. Hopefully I can get it. Okay, that looks a lot better. Inside is still crusty though. Let me go blow that out. So I was taking a look after I cleaned everything out, and there are holes in it. So there may be enough for me to cut off here, flange it, and, attach the hose a little bit more south, but I may have to start looking for a replacement. So definitely not what you want to hear when we're talking about turbo Buick parts, but we'll find a way. We always do. While I contemplate that, I am going to turn back over to the motor. So here goes. So I lied. Right before we go back to the motor, I did separate it a little bit, so you can see a little bit more of a gap in between those two pipes. And now I have what I need to be able to cut this off, flange it, and then still fit a hose over that. So yippee, saved however many bucks it would take to replace this. But for real this time, back to the motor. So a quick note and word of advice about these Felpro gaskets. They are awesome. I love the fact that they're reusable. But if you're working on, I believe, the hot air models, you have to trim these tabs back just a little bit, because if you set them up to line up and everything, there's a lip right here where it doesn't exactly line flush. So there's a gap right here because of it, basically. So it'll make more sense once you have it in front of you. But basically, you need to trim this corner tab just a little bit on both sides to make sure that you clear the notches and the gasket sits flat. So that's why I had to pop this one back off. Back to the action. have made huge progress on this car, and I think it's about time to get it ready to start. So let me get you guys back on the stand and we'll see what the first fire up looks like.